Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another video. My name is Tom. Thank you for joining me here today. I am here with our Kubota, or Kubo, or Bota. We don't know yet. We haven't come up with a name for it. My wife calls it Kubota. There she is up there with the Duchess, monitoring the progress. So here we are. I've taken the liberty of pulling it out of the garage and bringing it out here, giving you a first glimpse at what this thing looks like, pretty clean, before we get it all dirty, grimy, and muddy. This is the 3-cylinder Kubota diesel engine, 18 horsepowers, all 18 of them. And this mower does support the front attachments as well as the back attachments. However, I did not procure those. Those were add-ons that I didn't feel I needed for this part of the world. I'm not going to snow blow, and I don't know if I need something as grandiose as a backhoe on this thing quite yet. Maybe in the future, but not right now. So I don't want to go down the list of specs because, well, they're all over the internet. But suffice it to say, it does have the belly mower pan. And I believe that this thing is more than capable of chopping down our grass every week, because this stuff grows really fast when it's warm. And today is pretty much the first warm day of the new year. And so I'm going to make a pass with this thing just to see how it does. And then we'll go from there. So I'm going to look and see if I can find the dipstick. There it is. See it? Right there. Coolant's full. Oil filter is filtering. Starter, solid. Alternator, also solid. So this, my friends, is what a brand new engine looks like. And there you can see it's a Kubota 3-cylinder. There's the model plate right there. Yeah. So let's see what we're doing. I want to see if we're doing what Hamiltonville Farm says we are. Oh yeah, this thing's making oil. So I did fill her up. She's got a full tank of diesel. The cap is right there. So let's see what we can do with this thing. Let's close her up. It's got a latch right here. It looks like it latches on its own. I'd like to think that this is one of the more interesting purchases that I've ever made, just because it's unique. That, and it's got a 12-volt cigarette lighter adapter right there. So we shouldn't run out of power for our ancillary devices anytime soon. But this is what she looks like. And now I hope you guys enjoy the time lapse of our initial drive, our maiden voyage, if you will. And we'll see how she does. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to have to adjust the deck height because it is at its lowest setting. And I don't know how this yard will do with the lowest setting, but I assume all these leaves are going to be gone by the time I'm done. So we'll see. I'm just going to do this middle part right here, and then we'll take it from there, because there's that part over there, this part over here, and then the front side and the side of the house over there, side of the house by the driveway behind my wife back there. So it's a bunch of stuff to look at, but this will be its maiden voyage, and we'll try to see how this whole thing, how it works out. So stick around. All right, so I'm about halfway through the first part of it, and as you can see, it's actually doing a really good job. Some places are a little bit higher than others, so I managed to scalp the grass. But for the rest of it, you can kind of see through here and up through here, it actually looks really good. Now, obviously I'm doing this in the middle of winter time, so there isn't much grass, but there's still some. Like some of these pieces here are like almost a foot long. So I figured today's a great day to give this a try. And it's actually working out really well. I thought, when I originally bought this, I thought 18 horsepower, it's a little low. And then of course they had the 23 horsepower one and then the bigger tractors. And I thought to myself, you know what? If 18 horses isn't enough to mow grass, then I have a problem. And I looked up the spec of the mower that the guy was using, the team that was actually mowing this last year through the fall. I looked up his mower. He had one of those zero-turn mowers, and I never liked it for whatever reason. And according to the John Deere website, it was comparatively spec'd to this mower. Now, as far as the fuel gauge goes, it hasn't moved, so it's still on full. You can see there, it's still on full. I got about 1.2 hours in. Engine temp is pretty normal, and she's doing really well. So I'm really pleased with this. I've used Kubota since I was a kid, since about 1990, I don't know, 6 or 7. So the old school tractors that, you know, didn't have any of the PTO attachments on the back, or the hydraulic system for if you want to snow blow or use a bucket on the front, etc., etc. Never had those. So this is currently exceeding my expectations, and I really feel like this was worth every penny. And I feel like this will pay for itself in the first year of use, just judging by how much I was paying per month to have a team come out and do this. And actually, it's really zen. The only thing I would recommend, hearing protection. So the next time I do this, I'll bring my my Plantronics noise canceling over-the-ear headphones. I don't think AirPods will do it. I don't think Beats will do it. It's pretty loud, and you got to cruise this thing at about 3,500 RPM, so it's not like it has a decent muffler on it. In fact, it sounds like it might have a Flowmaster on it when it's on full. So anyway, I'm gonna get back on it, but I thought I'd give you guys a quick update, so stick around. All right, everybody, so every single battery that I had in every GoPro that I had sadly died during the filming of this. I did have a battery pack on the time-lapse, but it ended up just flatlining as well, so everything just passed away during this session. But I will give you a little show and tell here. There wasn't much to mow in terms of grass height. It is still, you know, it's the end of January. It's January, what is it, 28th today, Saturday. But it is the warmest day so far of the year, and I'm still wearing a hoodie. One of my old 6-foot Networks hoodies, which is pretty impressive actually. But I'm going to turn you around. I'm going to show you. This was just kind of a test ride, so I didn't feel it 100%. But nevertheless, you know, here you can kind of see where the line is. This is the semi-rough stuff that is on the other side of the property line. But it's kind of at the same time, a shared yard. So we'll see whether or not I get to mow that or not. But you can see this part of the plot really did well. I had a tough time with this little hill here. There were 2 times when I thought that the rollover protection system was not going to be enough, but needless to say, I did not roll it over. There is a bunch of those old weeds that were here. There was a fence here at one point. The fence was dug up and ripped up, but there's a stump, and there's some thick, you can see there that there's some pretty nasty stuff that I didn't necessarily want to run over with my blade. So I'm probably going to have to get, you know, a chainsaw of some kind and mow all this out with a blade of some kind. But this grass here looks pretty nice. Even though I was feeling out the mower, I think I did pretty well with regard to the fact that I said I was originally going to just do this part, but then I ended up doing pretty much all of it. Here's another part right here. This area, you know, when you have a tractor like this, you have to really be careful that you don't, you know, get past, I'd say, you know, 40, 45 degrees of angle. And this, looking at it, looks to be more than 45 degrees. Now, what I can do, and what I sort of did over here, is to go up, back, up, back, up, back. It is a 4-wheel drive, which I actually needed to use over here because I got stuck. And up there, where that post is, kind of right there, I got stuck there too. The tractor was kind of cattywampus, and the wheel started spinning. But it does have a diff lock on it. Diff lock helps. And it looks like I may have missed a whole row here, so I'm probably gonna just gonna let that go because I'm tired, believe it or not. But it's not horrible. You can see I kind of got on the side there with my wheels spinning. There's a nice trail. And then I did make it all the way out here to the property line. So what I'm going to probably do is the neighbor that I have right here, I'm going to probably start doing him favors, you know, once or twice a month, and I'm going to mow his side all the way down to the trees there, just because this is kind of a nightmare. And you know, when you have the opportunity to help your neighbor, you should do so. I also went up to the front of the house this way, which, I mean, I can show you, it's no problem. But I managed to get that little hill next to the air conditioner there. I got as tight to the house as I possibly could. My kid left my mower blades a little present here. So yeah, I did go all the way up to the front. The one issue up here is that I have giant rocks. I have giant rocks right here. And it was really hard to maneuver the mower around it. And also, there was a giant tree here at one point that was removed. But you can see it's not 100%. I tried to feel it out. And also I piled up a bunch of grass here. Here too, Actually, I kept thinking that I was going to roll over here, but suffice it to say, I didn't. It actually turned out really good. I got to do something about those. And here, yeah, I might have to just do the front part here with the weed whacker, because I'm not a fan of this, you know, tearing up the grass, and that bottomed out the blade, which is impressive. This part right here is the other end to that long strip that I mowed all the way down. So you can see where there was a tree right here too. They pulled that out. But yeah, so it's not a huge parcel of land, but if you have it, use it. I was paying somewhere around, I don't know, $100 and some odd a week every time they came. During the summertime, this stuff grows really fast, and it's a nightmare to take care of because you're literally out here all the time. And I wasn't about to mow this by hand with a push mower because it is 100% hill. You know, the hill starts at the road and it goes all the way down to the perimeter fence of that reservoir. So having to do this kind of, operation with a push mower would be detrimental to your health. In fact, it'll be so detrimental that just thinking about it makes me want to sit down in my chair. Oh, yeah. Okay, so final thoughts. I love that thing. Since I was a kid, when I was in about 10th grade, maybe 9th grade even, when I was old enough to really do chores that had a meaning, before I got my full-on Pennsylvania state tractor license, that's what I drove. A mower without the PTOs, the attachments on the back and the hydraulics on the front and any of that. We didn't have any of that. It was just a riding mower. And it was also a Kubota, bright orange diesel, and it did the job. I mean, I can't fathom a diesel subcompact tractor not doing its job. Unless you're trying to pull out a stump or a pole or something, then I can see it just kind of, breaking down, and, at worst, the wheels come out from under it. At best, I don't know, you might pull something small out. So what I may do in the next few months is invest in a chainsaw, a decent one. I thought, DeWalt makes a nice electric one that would go great with the rest of my DeWalt tools. I feel like also there's a lot more electric torque to an electric chainsaw. I don't know. I might be wrong with that, but suffice it to say, this Kubota and a chainsaw and maybe a small trailer, like a 2-wheel trailer that I can pull behind this thing to pull out the debris and whatever, all the tree parts that I mentioned that were down there, along this line, the pole that I make my nightly videos at, or not nightly videos, but my nighttime videos, I should say. That's the lamp post. I usually stand right around here. And my dog Duchess loves this area because she can just jump down this little hill and then run around. And all in all, it's kind of nice. So this is our first ever home with some sort of property. And I'd like to think that, considering we came from California and we were broke for 20 years of our lives, I'd like to think that we did pretty good. So suffice it to say, I'm happy, and I'm actually really thrilled that I, got something decent to be able to do good lawn maintenance on. And you know what? I forgot to say that the areas like underneath the deck over there, by the air conditioner and whatnot, and around all the trees and stumps and concrete and whatnot, I do have a gas-powered weed whacker that I guess it's like it's that 2-cycle mix engine, you know, obviously because it needs oil. And I got one of those, and I'll probably tune that baby up and just get it to a point where I can, you know, get really close to, you know, like this stuff right here, this concrete, and around the house and whatever. So a lot more to come, but I will tell you that this was a lot of fun. It's tiring. It's not, if you're not used to it, I mean, it does, you know, tear you around a little bit, right to left, and then of course on the hills you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna tip, and then you're leaning into it. And I have a pretty good ballast. I am a pretty good ballast when it comes to keeping stuff from tipping over, and as you can see, I did not tip anything over. So let me get up real quick. Let me take you up to the tractor because I'm letting it cool before I pour water on it. I have no intention of pouring water on the engine, by the way. I'm just going to wash the outside of it, but here it is. I think I'm going to stick with the name Kubo, just because Kubo is kind of cool. Kubota, not so much. Kubota, okay. I mean, that is its name, its brand, its make. But I'm going to start calling her Kubo. So here's Kubo, and you can see rollover protection bar is still intact. It's not crushed or broken or anything. So you can see there's a lot of grass on it. I would highly recommend to take a hose to this stuff while it's fresh, you know, because it will over time, you know, cake up and you know, just look really nasty. And you know, this is a 4-wheel drive system, so you probably don't want any of that grass getting into places where it can, you know, solidify and cause problems with the hydraulics, because this is a hydraulic drive system. The belts underneath here would probably also suffer greatly if you left grass in there to build up, you know, over time, and I guess friction would just create enough wear to, you know, cause problems. You probably don't want that. This thing wasn't cheap, but if you take care of it and, you know, you do what you got to do, then you'll have a tractor with a diesel engine that will last you many years to come. So, but suffice it to say, it's going to be parked in its spot right here in about, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes or so. So thank you so much for joining me on this adventure. It was an adventure because it's something new, you know, and I will tell you, the bumpiness, it's like being on a roller coaster for 2.5 hours. Actually, let's see what the clock says, because I don't know. Oh, let me see where the keys are first. Keys are in my pocket because I walked away from it. You should never, ever leave your keys in the tractor when you have a 10-year-old, almost 10-year-old. So on the clock, you can see right here, I'm going to try to cover it with some shadow. It says 2.2 hours. Diesel tank's still full, so I went 2.25 hours, so 2 hours, 15 minutes on barely any fuel, which is great because I was concerned about fuel consumption, but this thing actually did phenomenal. You know, mowing all this, did a lot of work because some of this stuff I actually dug the deck into it a little too deep. I think I need to reset the wheels a little bit, so I'm going to do that. The next time I come out here, I'll probably move the wheels of the deck down a little bit so the deck doesn't just into the ground. It'll just kind of hover above the grass, so that way it doesn't tear up grass as well as, you know, potentially kill that deck. But I think I think that's about it. So I guess we had 0.8 hours or 0.6 hours, I don't remember, on the clock when we started. Now we have 2.2, so that's what, 90 minutes or so. So it took me 90 minutes to do this. Let me give you guys a little bit of perspective. When I had the two-man team do this, they did mediocre job at best. I'm not one to slam people, you know, it is what it is. But the reality of it has always been that if you're a contractor and that's all you do is mow lawns, that's your well-being for you know, whatever, for the year. You know, around here you're not mowing in the wintertime, so you have spring, summer, and fall to earn a year's worth of living. So if these guys line up 10, 12 yards to do in a day, they got to be in and out within an hour. And unfortunately, that's just not enough, you know. So you got to take your time and do it right. If you're just jumping around, skipping stuff, you're not going to have a happy customer. For example, me, I'm not going to hire the guy back. That's my new hire right there. So that said, we're done. We're going to clean up, park it in the garage, and then I will be saying bye to my wife because she's heading out. And until next time, thank you always for watching. Go down in the comments, leave me your thoughts as always. And yeah, happy weekend to all of you. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, so it's about 90 minutes later or so from the last clip that you just saw. And as you could tell from the second time lapse, I actually ended up mowing my neighbor's property too. So that whole help your neighbor out when you can, I applied it. So his yard was a little tough because he's got rolling hills, but nevertheless came out nice. I think things are going great with this mower. So I'm gonna close this video out again because, you know, that's how I do things. I tell you guys to like and subscribe, and then I keep yapping. But anyway, here we are. Let's see how much time has passed, because I know I ate. Uh-oh, dropped my keys. Oh. Let's see if we put it in here. Clock says 2.8 hours, so probably about another 30 to 40 minutes of run time. Diesel tank's still full, so at least we got that. At least we got that for going for us. So now for real, I'm gonna clean her up and I'm gonna park her right here. And that, my friends, is all I have for you guys for this evening. I hope that all of you guys are doing well and that you get to enjoy the rest of your weekend. In the meantime, go down below, leave me your thoughts and comments. Until next time, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.